Welcome everybody to the Sunset Flip Wrestling Podcast. You're on for all wrestling, everything wrestling. Damn, Soto, how long has it been? About 15 minutes?
It's more or less. More or
It's
less, you
been,
can
it's been a
say.
while. It's been a while. So let's get right to it. Payback is coming on, and now we're on to AEW All Out. So I know there's been a lot of shit that's been going on with AEW. A lot of moving pieces when it comes to the roster. Couple suspensions, couple terminations. But Chicago got a goodie. So let's tee off and let's get right through this, shall we?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Like when I saw the card, I was not impressed at all. I was just like, all right, this is just another super dynamite show. If you look at the card, it's a dynamite show.
So
Um,
would you call this is it better than All In?
it's- I don't know, because All In was historic, and then the quality of matches that All Out had,
Oh, by the
I
way, I
think,
told you
yeah,
about FTR, right? You know what I'm saying? Just want to put that out there. I was like,
you
yup.
got,
But things changed pretty quickly this
yeah.
weekend.
But no, listen, you can say Tony Khan had back to back successful weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Especially what he did in All In for Wembley and then for All Out in Chicago in a hostile environment, and a lot of people know why, which we'll get into in a bit. Just the fact that he was able to make this a successful event, because if you again you look at the card, it's not that impressive. Yes, they have good quality matches, but the build is what a lot of people were kind of like, all right, where's this
Questioning.
leading to? Yeah, exactly. Where's this leading to? How does this make sense? But I think the quality of matches, the in-ring matches, surpass all doubt. And we'll get into it. We'll start with Zero Hour with Hangman Page winning the over budget battle royal, and Sky Blue, Hikaru Shida, and Willow defeating Diamante, Mercedes Martinez, and Athena. So you had those two for your 0 hour, pretty solid start for All Out. Then you had the opening match, the AEW World Trios Champions, the Acclaim and Daddy Ass versus defeating Jeff Jarrett, Singh, and Jay Lethal. You know, again, I wish they would have done more stuff with like the bookings,
Mm-hmm.
more like focus on like, I guess you could say, like the hype. uh I felt like the card itself was rushed.
Well, we've had this
Well,
discussion before because WWE was notorious for this a couple years ago. Stop putting stop doing pay per views or paid events a week apart. There's you're putting you're handcuffing yourself with zero room for error.
right.
It doesn't make any sense. Like WrestleMania a week later, WrestleMania Backlash. What? Like what are you doing? You
Yeah,
got All Out and then All In, or All In and then All Out. So it's like, yo, what?
yeah. But nevertheless, this match was okay. It was nothing. Obviously the takeaway was Dennis Rodman making an appearance and hitting you know Double J with the guitar, signature trademark.
Vintage.
But Dennis Rodman, showing up at an AEW event, it kind of
Feels so
reminded me.
WCW.
It would definitely remind me of the WCW days. So you had that. Next on the card, you had Better Than You, Bebe versus Dark Order for the Ring of Honor tag titles, in which I really enjoyed this match. There was a spot where MJF was hit in the back of the head with a chair, had to leave briefly, leaving Adam Cole all alone. And
And
we're
you
seeing
knew it was
a
going to be, well, here comes MJF in triumphant manner.
right, and here we're seeing a darker, edgier, meaner Dark Order in John Silver and Alex Reynolds, especially after Hangman kind of like turn his back on them. So they're
Mm-hmm.
just more aggressive, new attitudes. Um, but nevertheless, the crowd was very very invested in this, especially with the hype and the partnership of MJF and Adam Cole. They do retain. It's going to be interesting to see how they're going to play out MJF's neck issue because he was holding on to his head and neck area for most of the match after. Um, but you gotta love MJF. Like whether he's a heel, whether he's a face, I love the whole spot with the kangaroo kick and the double clothesline. A lot of people might call it cheesy or corny. I hate to say this,
Crafty.
it's entertainment.
Yeah.
It's entertainment.
You know what I'm saying
Um,
as well? When it was all said and done, they're walking back. Here comes Samoa Joe. Man, move.
so that that's what we're gonna talk about. Samoa Joe being the next opponent for MJF. So
You just knew that, yup, we're getting this. I don't want to call it a dream match, but we're getting a match we've been waiting for a while to see.
ever since Samoa Joe was in NXT and MJF was working security, in that
And move.
famous move, get out the
As soon as that
way.
happened, an hour later, I'm not the same guy from NXT. I was like, yup, here we go.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a great feud. That's gonna be a great feud. And then obviously MJF didn't like it, being pushed for a second time, ran back into the ring, decided to attack Samoa Joe. I love it. I love it. I'm wondering where this leads Adam Cole and that storyline. But
Does Adam Cole defend MJF through all this?
well, I don't know.
Or does Samoa Joe, if Samoa, I got him beating MJF. I'm calling it now because I know I'm a Joe guy. But does Samoa Joe win this clean? Does MJF win? Does MJF retain clean? Is it going to be with the help of Adam Cole? Does they make
Who
him a more
knows?
like
Who
heelish
knows that
heels tag
that
team?
see that might happen. Listen, in a sense where you know Adam Cole could help MJF beat Samoa Joe, because Adam Cole wants to beat MJF on his own, and it's setting up for the turn. Again, at first, a lot of people thought it's MJF. Like, all right, when is MJF turning on Adam Cole? I think right now it's the other way around. It's when will Adam Cole pull the trigger? A lot of people
Mm-hmm.
think Adam Cole is just waiting for the perfect time to reunite with the Kingdom, to reunite with Roderick Strong, and and then that's where Adam Cole becomes champion. I think it's bound to happen. So,
That
but
course,
nevertheless,
that course has begun, is what you're saying.
yeah. But nevertheless, Samoa Joe will. It seems that way. Samoa Joe will be the next opponent for MJF. And shortly after, Samoa Joe had a great match with Shane Taylor, in which
We
he
seen how that
was
went.
right, and in which Samoa Joe successfully defended his Ring of Honor TV title. Uh,
Moving forward,
yeah, I'm telling you, there's a lot. This pay per view had a lot. Then we have TNT champion Luchasaurus, because now it's not Christian; it was Luchasaurus defeating Darby Allin, or
and
Allen.
where we've seen Darby Allin get hurt. Now, you think that's in the script, or that's like you think that was real life?
I don't know. To I hope he's okay, but he kind of looked legit hurt. Um, he, I don't know.
It's tough
They're
to
acting.
say. It look, I thought it was real. Then I was like, maybe
Yeah,
it's Allen's getting time off. Who
yeah.
knows?
Listen, as much as I love Darby's. you know, I guess you could say
Charisma.
Daredevil antics and whatnot, he has to kind of like tone it down a little bit.
So maybe in your perspective, maybe it could be some time off, or maybe he
It could,
being
it
hurt
could,
is now
it,
like yo,
it,
you got
it it could be, but I mean, listen, that's no. If he sold it, then he fooled a lot of people. I'll tell you
right.
that much. He fooled a lot of people, but it's almost these little things where after a German suplex, like he almost landed on his head, and he's taking all these head bumps and kind of like neck bumps that it's
Yeah.
like, um, yeah, it's too dangerous. Now with Luchasaurus, I said it once and I said it again. I love this new monster in Luchasaurus, especially he has the size, he has the build,
He has the
to be
ability.
right. And again, I think we mentioned it. He kind of has that like Kane aura, especially with his theme music, which really sounds like Kane's like original music from the '90s.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think this found character change, which with Luchasaurus has been great. And this has been great work from a great manager, Christian Cage, who, by the way, is resigning with AEW.
Only makes sense.
Yeah,
In
I mean,
lieu of the possibility of Adam Edge Copeland possibly joining AEW. Is
it's
that
it.
do you think that plays a reason? Or you think Christian don't care about that, or you think they say, you know what, I might have Edge with me.
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. We
What
don't
more does
know.
Christian have left to do in AEW?
You're right. I just don't know. Like I don't know if that happens. I really doubt. It's like one of those situations where, like, when you're with WWE for so long, you're a WWE lifer, and I don't think Edge would turn his back on WWE that way. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
listen, it could happen, but I just don't see it.
People have done it
Listen,
before.
right, you're absolutely right. I just think Christian has found so much success, and we said it in the podcast. We give AEW their flowers for the way they treat and build their legends.
It's a
Um,
lot. The love being given to those guys, we've seen. Granted, we've heard Mark Henry Sells on the Bustle Radio several times say it that as beat up as he's been, AEW has treated him very well when it comes to travel, when it comes to accommodations. Big Show, the same thing. Sting has loved every bit of it.
mhm.
Christian's been done very well with it. There's a lot of people, a lot of older talent, especially the guys that were once like lifers in WWE with the Jake Roberts and the Arn Andersons. Like yo,
Yeah,
like we feel very well. Brian Danielson, when he was Daniel Bryan, same thing. He's like yo, I feel very well treated. Jericho being the biggest one. AEW's done a great job taking care of people, and that's what people want to re-sign with them.
yeah,
More people than not re-sign with AEW than with WWE. If we've come to realize past 4 or 5 years,
yeah. And again, you see the way they're booking Sting. I mean, listen, he's 60 something years old, but he's
and
he's
still
he's
taking jumps off the fucking top of the apron to chairs and tables.
right, undefeated in AEW. You see Christian, the way he's been booked now recently, monster heel mocking people, who have dead fathers. Like, I'm
That
sorry that
was
I'm
wild,
laughing.
bro. That
I'm
shit was so
sorry that
funny.
I'm laughing, but it's just like, what is with Christian and calling out your dead father? Like, I don't know what kind of gimmick is that. It's crazy to me because he's a whole menace when he does that.
He's so conniving. It's hilarious.
We move on to Miro versus Powerhouse Hobbs, in which this is a battle of the heavyweights. I'm not gonna lie, like,
This was fun. This was a fun match.
yeah, for both of them, um, in which Miro picked up the victory, but we saw an all elite debut in CJ Perry.
Formerly
CJ
known as
Perry,
Lana.
yep, formerly known as Lana, making her way to save Miro from Power Hobbs, which strangely Miro did not like. Uh,
You're
you
not
know,
real. You're not real.
Did not like, he seemed very unhappy, and which obviously, she was confused and kind of like, was left pondering, like, why didn't you, like me helping you out? But again, this is when it comes to like Miro and Powerhouse Hobbs. This is just like a battle of the heavyweights, like you have it in a boxing match. It's really what it is. The size, the power, and for being that big, their speed. For both
Yeah.
men. So again, well match. To be honest with you, one of my favorites throughout the night. And yeah, so Miro picks up the victory. Kind of wondering what this leads with Miro going forward. Will they reunite Miro and CJ Perry?
I think
Who
that will
knows?
happen. It just makes all the sense in the world because of who she is, who she best. She'll be involved in the women's division, right?
Hmm.
And that's okay.
Yeah,
But come on, you
yeah,
can't have Rusev without Lana. You can't have Miro without CJ. You know what I mean? It makes a lot of sense.
yeah. So, and again, we'll see what happens with Hobbs. I felt like Hobbs has so much potential. And as you see, he can also be a tremendous heel, shaking hands with Miro, and then obviously attacking him um, after. So who knows what happens with with Hobbs? What's next for Hobbs? What's the next for Miro? We just have to wait and see.
Hmm.
Then we get Chris Stanlander and Ruby Soho for the TBS title. Again, two of the more talented women wrestlers on the roster going at it.
But one of your favorites in the game today, probably top five women in the game in your mind, like your favorites. Tony Storm comes in and ruins a lot of people's nights.
Listen, I don't know what's up. I don't know what's up
Whatever
with Tony
Tony Storm
Storm.
does, you love it. Let's just call it how it is.
I don't know what she went through. I don't know what she's smoking, what she's drinking, but this character change of this Marilyn Monroe esque,
Hey man, listen,
it's really getting to her.
and
You
you love
know,
it. You. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Tony. You go, girl. Yeah.
Soraya was there ringside, for support, and just Tony Storms comes in and tosses Ruby Soho. And it's interesting because, the Outcasts, I mean, they've been together for a couple of months, but now,
I think like
Soraya's
three,
now,
4 months.
I think just about or a little bit more. But,
Yeah.
now Soraya is the champ, and they had
Moving
a
forward.
perfect, yeah, and they had the perfect opportunity to put Ruby Soho as champion. Bringing another gold into the group, but Tony Storm appeared and helped Statlander win. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Tony Storm. Hopefully, this will be addressed at AEW Dynamite, but it kind of seems like the beginning of the end for the Outcast.
Hey man, it was fun while it lasted, right?
I mean, hey, I mean, listen, in that situation, I kind of like would have wanted, if I'm booking it, I kind of would have liked to see Ruby Soho capture gold so that Tony Storm could be the one jealous that her other two mates
Right.
have gold and she doesn't. So,
I don't know. We'll see how this pans. Maybe Tony gets it.
well, I think, to be honest with you, this is going to lead into a triple threat match between Soraya, Tony Storm, and Ruby Soho.
Quite
Um,
possibly.
yeah, definitely. Then we have Brian Danielson, the recently returned Brian Danielson, versus Ricky Starks in the strap match, which again it was put.
Why would you ever think you could win a match of that grappling situation with Brian Danielson?
Yeah,
That's my mind. Watching Ricky Starks, I'm like, what are you doing, bro? You actually thought you were gonna win this match? You passed out. It's over.
You
Yo,
know,
there's no coming back from this.
listen, this match itself just showed why, again, Bryan Danielson is one of the
The
all
man.
time greats. Now, this match wasn't supposed to be booked.
Right.
I think this match was put rather quick because of what had transpired with CM Punk and Jack Perry, which again we'll get into in a minute. But again, remember, Brian is coming back from a serious injury, and the fact that you put him into a match with Ricky Starks, um, and a strap match. Again, it was very chaotic. Again, Danielson, one of the best at his craft, and like you just said, he choked Starks out with the strap to win it.
Choked him.
So
He put that boy out to sleep.
yeah, he did.
That
He
was
did.
hilarious.
He did. And without a doubt, this was definitely one of the most, I guess you could say, I was going to say violent, but physical is a more
I
appropriate
think
word.
so. I think this had the most um injury prone situations.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot to the winner like, wow, like, ooh, hold on a second. Like this is
And listen, real quick, I really do love Ricky Starks, and I just hope they don't like mess
it's a
his
learning
character up.
experience, Bob. It's okay. You'll be all right.
Be- because
He's
he's
still
like
sleeping.
the booking, it's been inconsistent. Like there's been strives where it's like, yo, he could become a main event, a centerpiece, but then bookings just like kind of like degrades him.
This will not
And
be the end. So if you're questioning the idea of this is the end of Ricky Starks, this is not like not right now.
I
Like
hope
it's
not.
not the end. Hopefully, it's not the end, right? But
Yeah,
we'll see improvement in due time.
yeah. Then we have the Eddie Kingston and Shibata teaming up with Shibata versus the Blackpool Combat Club, in which we saw Claudio and Wheeler Yuta pick up the victory.
I
Uh,
love Eddie, but I hate Eddie at the same time. So the better the better team won. Let's just put it that way.
well, listen, the match itself was great. Again, you see all these different blends of styles going at it. Listen, I think we just this whole Kingston and Claudio thing. Um, I feel like it needs to end. Like just have one final match. It's been months, 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 and maybe you can call me crazy for thinking, oh, what you don't like the rivalry. It's just I kind of grown tired of it.
You're not the only
Um,
one.
yeah, so hopefully we see that coming to an end. But overall, it was a great match, solid match. So we'll see what's in store for all four of them going forward. Then we have what easily could be the match of the night: Kenny Omega versus Kosuke. Now,
It was shocking.
it was, but at the same time, it's not. Listen, it's as easy as it can be. Takashi is being pushed to the
Takashita is
moon.
going to be pushed to the caption right there. Yes, it
He's
is
going to
time
be
for New Japan to infiltrate and start to take big game matches, big time situations away from AEW. This is the beginning. And the first one was Kenny Omega. Who is his next opponent?
well. Listen, I think we're not going to see the end of this. Kenny Omega needs redemption. He needs to get that redemption from this loss. He needs revenge from what Don Callis has done for him, because
Right.
God knows Don Callis. Listen, he is
By the way,
a
his shirt's available. Oh, my shirt's not expensive. I saw a shirt over $104. Let that be known.
but listen, turning Takashi heel was a blessing because it's like they've been building him up perfectly. And the counter strikes between Omega and Takashi, um, again, I like using the word chemistry because their chemistry was off the charts. Again, not surprised if this is the match of the night. In my opinion, it was. You could say between this one and the main event,
I thought the main
but
event was.
yeah, I mean, you could go either
It's
or.
yeah, it's a pick 'em.
Yeah, but overall, yeah, I love what they're doing with him, pushing other talents because in reality, listen, Omega doesn't need the victory. Omega, it, for example, if you're getting a win against Omega, it just builds your stock, right? Omega getting the win, it just does nothing for you. And it does nothing for Omega because we already know what Omega can do. Now with Takashi, it's like, all right, now we're seeing what you can do. Damn, you picked up a victory over Omega, and that's two pinfalls over Omega. One in all out, all in, and now at all out. So it's like, damn, you're just raising the bar right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, We go on to a Bullet Club Gold versus Young Bucks and FTR. Another solid match. And let me
I
tell
wanted
you,
to call you so bad. Say you said all this shit about. I hope not. FTR won it. You know what I'm saying? Yup, it's over. The whole, the whole dilemma of no, the whole Wheeler thing. It's nothing. You see. And then you know what? I'll be waiting for we do the next episode and then go and and then I'll talk about my shit. Yeah, Soda, I got you. And then this happens. And I'm sitting there watching. Wow. And I was like, did the Wheeler really get pinned? Like, did he take the pin? Like, I'm watching like, oh, well, I can't talk about shit no more.
I mean, listen, we
This
know
was a price to pay because of what happened.
we know it was hard to go with the Young Bucks and FTR because obviously the history between both teams, and it's like, damn, you expect all four members to, um, work out their differences and whatnot.
Yeah,
Like
not this case.
Bullet Club Gold has no problems with that, and that's why it's time to push Jay White.
You think so?
Yes, with CM Punk out the door, you need somebody else to be that megastar, and Jay White has the capability
Indie
to do
growth,
that.
the ability,
Yeah,
a lot of stuff he has within his like rapport and his career.
yeah. So again, Bullet Club Gold. Hopefully, they can continue building themselves up. But this is just gonna lead to FTR and the Bucks. And maybe who knows? Maybe Bullet Club Gold goes after the tag titles. I mean, they've teased it, they want it. Who knows if there's like a triple threat tag title match down the line? Whether it's the Guns, whether it's Robinson and White taking on FTR and the Bucks. I think,
Juice.
yeah, I think. Listen, uh, they have a lot of possibilities. But having said that, um, yeah, Jay White, it's time for him to shine. I feel like with him, it's been a slow build. But now it's ready. Like I feel like it's ready for takeoff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now that he's been around for a while in AEW, it's about that time that he does get that push or begin to push. I
yeah,
don't know now if Tony gives him the push or not, is what it is. But now he needs to start winning a couple, not just win matches, but win matches against higher end opponents.
yeah,
See how the crowd reacts. You know how that goes.
yeah. Of course. Um, and then the main event, man. Orange Cassidy versus John Moxley.
I thought this was a thriller, to be honest.
It was, and it ends a historic. I had problems saying that. A historic title reign for Orange Cassidy, made over 30 title defenses. Um, and fun fact: now all three members of the Shield have titles, so that's
And
pretty
to think
awesome.
they said that they couldn't do it without each other, and now they're doing it as individuals.
Right,
That says a
right,
lot. So
right. No,
Moxley stock is now. I think he is. I don't know if it's a hot take, but I think he's of equal between Roman and Seth as an individual talent. All three of them now One's on Raw, one's on SmackDown, one's in AEW. I think all three of them now are on the same plateau when it
Right.
comes to being from a talent perspective.
Yeah, and all well deserved. And you know what? Listen, credit to Orange Cassidy because despite losing, despite in defeat, he looked like a megastar. He looked like a main
Yeah,
event star. As hard as people may think, like, oh, Orange Cassidy, there's no way.
freshly squeezed, baby.
I mean, listen, it was just a memorable. I think it was one of the best matches of the night. I said this one or the Omega match
I think
50-50.
you say that one. I'll say this one.
Yeah.
Everything fit. The pre match feel, them walking down the in backstage. That's like a big fight feel, a big game feel. NBA pre games. Remember Austin Rock back in the day? All these, the fight, the calm before the storm. I gotta find the photo. There's one photo of Orange Cassidy with his taped
Hmm.
fingers, taped hands, and Moxley in like the that focus. I was like, this is gonna be an epic match, and this is exactly what it was. Everything fit. Everything led to this was perfectly constructed. Where it's like, if this goes the way it's supposed to go, this is gonna be a magical match, and that's what it ended up being.
Yeah. No, listen, there's history here. Again, with a proper build, um, it just I think it just would have made it all that much better. But the match itself was incredible. Just the way how ruthless Moxley is. So every time Moxley had him down, or where Moxley had him in a submission hold, the resilience of Orange Cassidy, um, that was
Always come back
huge.
from being down the hole so
Right.
many
And,
times.
and and that connects with the fans, and the fans were just like, let's go until he couldn't know more. So congratulations to Moxley. I think this was the right person
Yep.
to take the championship off. Um,
Congrats to
you know,
Cassie for a great historic run.
yeah,
All the efforts will not be unappreciated.
yeah.
So
And then having said that, I would give this
you gave
between a
Payback an A minus.
I
What are
would
you
give this an A minus
giving?
as well.
Really?
Yeah, this and to be honest with you, with a proper build, I probably would have given it an A because looking at this card, I was just like, all right,
No,
some of
no,
these
no. And
matches,
then it was
yeah,
like, yes,
some of
yes,
these
yes.
matches, I was like, damn, made these matches like, and then some of the stars weren't even in that weren't all out, they weren't all in.
No
So
Will Ospreay. No Jack Perry, who as we'll talk to now.
yeah,
No
and it felt
Punk,
it,
as you
it
spoke about
felt
now.
it felt more like of a Ring of Honor pay per view, but
Yeah.
nevertheless, it was a tremendous pay per view. Again, he had Tony Khan had successful back to back weeks, so credit to him, credit to AEW, and credit to the performers. They did great.
Yeah. So let's get right to it. Um, Due to continual, um, I guess continual, when it rains it pours, um, and nobody is greater than the work environment you are in. So unfortunately, as I've said before, because I'm probably the only CM Punk advocate between the three of us on here, my man has been terminated. Took his ball. Actually, Tony Khan said, "Yo, this is yours. Go that way," and fired him. It had to be done. I want people to understand, like, all the slam that Punk has, like, Punk's been this way since Ring of Honor. He's always been this. But he still gets signed somewhere. He's still getting paid. He's still getting matches, main events. He's still done all this. And it's like, did you really think this wouldn't be the case? Tony Khan finally got some nuts, as you said before, had the guts to go ahead and protect your company and did what he's supposed to do. Now, by him saying he spoke to the disciplinary committee, we all know what the committee was, right? He went to AEW's committee and they told him get rid of him and they probably spoke to him a couple times over, and then said, you know what, fine, we gotta get rid of him, and it is what it is. You know, wait, does Punk go back to WWE? Is this the end of CM Punk? Who knows? For Jack Perry, I think this is it's tougher. I think this is more on Jack Perry as well because Punk's gone, right? So there's nothing more of AEW. Jack Perry is supposed to be an important piece to this company. So I think this is also a price you got to pay for being this top tier talent. And now you're suspended indefinitely, which is probably going to be like a month or two. Let's be quite honest. Because this is the first we ever heard of Jack Perry getting involved, whatever. Um, but, best of luck, CM Punk. We'll see his clobbering time sometime down the road, if not never. Jack Perry, get your shit together, and we'll see you bounce back in a few weeks or a few months, depending how you look at it. Depending how you feel about Jack Perry's future, where he stands when he comes back, who he wrestles with, what type of picture he's in. So enough of my biasness. Let's go to the uncut Edgar Soto for his point of view, shall we?
All right, so I'm going to talk about Jack Perry's.
The guest, my turn.
I'm going to talk about Jack Perry's point of view. From Jack Perry's point of view, I don't see anything that he did wrong. CM
Right.
Punk said, "If you have an issue with me,
Go to him.
take it up with me," and that's exactly what Jack Perry did. So kudos for Jack Perry for sticking up for himself and doing just that. With CM Punk has tried to get fired, and I feel like a lot of people
You
might
think this
disagree
is
with me.
self-sabotage?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I feel that CM Punk has been trying to get back to WWE for some time. Remember, 4 months ago or 4 or 5 months ago, I think it was in April, he showed up to a WWE event that was
Him
in
and AJ
Chicago.
Lee, and they kicked back the whole night with Triple H. I think, was that there
Well,
too?
well, here's the thing. It wasn't the whole night. It was briefly because I think Vince was opposed to the idea. I think because he was still under contract of AEW. Remember, he had to. He asked Triple H if it was cool if he can stay for a bit, but Triple H had to run it by Vince. Now, here's the thing. He was back there and he wanted to clear the air with the Miz, which
Right.
he did, which he did, according to numerous reports, right? And he wanted to speak with Triple H. So my
And
impression is
and also that was mutual as well. That was like, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Like,
my opinion right now is I'm sure that there's a lot of WWE wrestlers that won't want Punk in the company. I feel like it's just a matter of time till Punk actually joins WWE, and here's why: Punk will be petty enough to to sit down with Triple H and whoever and Vince, let's say, and higher ups, at water under the bridge, and let's work together. Just to stick it to Tony Khan, just to stick it to the EVPs, um, and that would be massive. Just think about it. Survivor Series, right? Survivor Series, it's in Chicago. You can have him show up. Let's just say if I'm and if WWE, if I'm WWE, I would gladly take the star power.
even if it's a one night thing.
Right. There was a report I think that came out today that he tried to join WWE as far back as the Royal Rumble. They wanted to run an angle where he gets eliminated by Kevin Owens and they have a match at WrestleMania.
Is this confirmation? This is rumors.
So this this is just a rumor, and I think an article is out there. I will have to
Do
look
some
more
research
into
on it.
it just to confirm. Yeah, but if that's true, that's what I'm saying. We'll play the if game. If that's true, then that's massive. Listen, I think Punk has always wanted his WrestleMania moment, and his
I think he
WrestleMania
deserves one,
and his WrestleMania moment contains him headlining a WrestleMania.
which
Now,
he
I don't.
should have once. I think the way his career went in WWE, I think he had a chance one time where he should have, and then it got nixed.
Right. So I I really don't like see why listen, I know Punk's actions in AEW may have seemed toxic, but again, I just think it's self sabotage for
You
him to
think it
get
was
back to
calculated?
WWE. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, listen, you're starting fights with everybody backstage, and then now it's like Tony Khan. There's Tony Khan's feeling that he was threatened by CM Punk, and CM
Well,
Punk saying,
somebody
"Oh,
somebody threw somebody over a table, and the table went back in the gorilla. And Khan was like, "I fear for my life."
right." But again, I know a lot of stars in WWE don't want CM Punk in WWE because, and I get it, I get it. If CM Punk were to join WWE, it takes away their spotlight.
Hmm.
It takes away some of their time. So, um, you have CM Punk come back to WWE, he instantly becomes main event
Right.
instantly. And there's others in WWE that are fighting for that spot. They're fighting for TV time. So that's why they wouldn't listen. If Punk were to come back to WWE, you would probably have to feature him 2 or 3 times a night because
Um.
he's that big of a draw.
Yes.
It's kind of like what they're doing with Cody. With Cody, you see him in the beginning of the show and then at the end of the show, but he's featured like at least 2 or 3 times on an episode of Monday Night Raw that we're just about to see.
Yes.
So it's real. I don't know. It's just a real like they're probably going to tease it. I don't know. I just don't know. And the idea of CM Punk coming back to WWE it's massive. It's just
And the fact that there might be a 60-day no compete clause. Survivor Series before Thanksgiving, and last time I checked, today is September 4th.
it's just listen. There's a lot of egos. There's a lot of egos. So and listen, WWE did Punk dirty on his wedding day. So it's like
So and okay, I ask you this: you have a guy, you don't like the guy, you don't like the guy from a personal level, but from a work level, he gives you great stuff. You take the personal life, put it into the work life, and you're making money. You both make money hand over fist, and we both know, and we asked Henry the same thing. He'll respond as well. WWE made bank on the real life Triple H CM Punk McMahon Punk rivalry, right? John Cena put John Cena involved. It was a whole lot involved. Whole lot involved. You do this man in the worst way possible. You criminal. You ruin his wedding essentially. You try to, right? Out of pettiness, out of pride, out of ego, however you want to go about it. You're gonna sit here being the businessman. You won't realize like, yeah, we kind of messed up. And time moves on, and you got a chance to make even more money. But most important, you're allowed to bury the hatchet and make amends with things in order to do so, right? From a business perspective,
right.
you would do that, right? You know what? Let me swallow my pride this one time and correct what I. Both people were wrong. One was worse than the other, obviously. So you would come out and say, "Oh, let's try and fix this and try and like at least if we don't have to be best friends, but we can be mutual, right?" So this is, you know, I think Triple H a couple of years ago said, like, "I have no problem seeing Punk. We're good. I've made my mistakes. He's made his. We spoke on it. It was cool. And now after him being, you know, at the live event, it was like, maybe this could work out. Even as a part time gig, something like that.
Right.
So we'll
I,
see.
yeah, it's we're just have to see what reports come up to. Like again, it's all right. Is CM Punk willing to bury the hatchet with top names in WWE? We know that he's done it with the Miz, right?
He's
It's
done it with Cena,
unclear. It's unclear if he's done it with Triple H, right? Fine.
right? But Triple H
Now,
says he has. He on his end.
right, and
Punk,
now
we haven't confirmed Punk yet.
everything is different because now it's Triple H running the show.
There's
Well,
no
kind of
Vince.
running the show, right?
Well,
Vince is still involved, but not
Triple H has
heavily
the
involved.
last. He has the final answer on everything.
Yeah.
The last before it was Vince having clear, clear autonomy now. Now it's the other way around. Steph's not involved. You
So
have Shane possibly coming back, which is a rumor now. So it's like, you know, what do you have to do? And John Cena's still here for a little bit of time. So John Cena will give what, yeah. Because John Cena said, like, I like Punk. I never had an issue with Punk. It was
right.
great TV, great matches. The Rock's not around. So that beef's not there anymore. Kevin Owens loves him. We don't know how I feel with Sami Zayn. Seth Rollins has his. I think real life Seth Rollins does not have an issue with. He doesn't have an issue. I think he'll keep the kayfabe going and keep saying he hates CM Punk. I don't think he really does. A money making perspective, yeah, fuck CM Punk. But that's not really the case at all, right? I think the guys at AEW like Moxley, no. Omega, no. Obviously, those higher ups, say how they want to say. But even Cody, I got no problem with CM Punk.
I,
And Cody came back for that. Jericho Saints, Jericho, like, I don't really care. Like, I like CM Punk.
that's the thing. It's like before we end this, we saw Cody, right? He didn't leave in bad terms, right?
No.
But he
AEW
during his
thinks so, but
but
in reality, it wasn't.
but when he left WWE, he took a lot of shots towards WWE.
Right.
But nevertheless, look at him now, right? Now with CM Punk, it's similar, but it's not like it's similar because CM Punk has taken shots at WWE, but at the same time, it's like there's personal issues involved, and if they
I
can
think
get
it's deeper than what Cody was.
no, it's 100% deeper. But
Yeah.
I'm saying if you're willing to, again, it, that action of clearing things up with the Miz, showing up to WWE backstage, that just indicated to me that he wants back, that he wants to start fresh.
Right.
Um, and at that time, it's like he wanted a way out from AEW. He just wanted and he already now he has a way out of AEW. Remember the first time with the backstage fight with the Elite, he wasn't really fired. Now he's completely
Gone.
terminated,
Yeah.
and who knows? Listen, if WWE were to get CM Punk, it would make massive headlines. Ratings would go through the roof. Now it's a matter of both sides coming to some sort of agreement. Both sides kind of like apologizing and kind of like working things
Right.
out.
So it's interesting. And
Yeah.
Survivor Series in Chicago. I think Punk wanted to be there for All Out in Chicago, which is okay. But now he's got second chances with Survivor Series, so it's like, Mania's in Philly. There's a lot of stuff to do. You can pick 5, 6, 7 people you can see in WWE that Punk will do great with.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see. Give it, give it, give it to the first week of October, and I think we'll see how things will really. Jack Perry's fine. CM Punk, I think, give it a month, and then you can sit here and ask yo Soto, how you feel about CM Punk coming to WWE? And I get your answer be like, yeah, he's showing up, or nah, not November. But the road to return to redemption for WWE, and the road to redemption for Punk will end up being on the same path at some point very very soon. The two paths will
Yeah.
cross real soon, and it'll be hopefully for my sake. I don't want to hear no more. You boy see your Punk trash. Nah, bro, you don't want to say this shit. Or you see it like you and Henry would be like, yeah, all right, Punk's coming back. This is good. Maybe things will go right. Fool me once, fool me twice, fool me thrice. I don't know if that makes sense. 3 times. Maybe it works out how it's supposed to. We'll see. But we don't have to wait a month to get the results of our next episode. Like for Punk, for us,
Right.
I'll do it for us for today. Nice back to back being banged out. Real nice and simple.
Facts.
Soto, if you will, please. post a link for the viewers to see. If you want to check us out, we're on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts. If you want to talk to us, we're on Twitter. I'm not calling it X. I refuse to do so. Twitter or no. Perfect. Look at that. I got Spotify. I got Apple. I got Instagram. I got Twitter, aka X. I got Facebook, TikTok, Discord, Twitch, YouTube. We even got an email for y'all to hit us up. That's even better. You know what I'm saying? We good to go. If you can't check us out on these links, then I'll tell you, you got to figure it out.
We're going global.
Yeah. Where are we, Soto? We're what? Everywhere.
Everywhere.
If you want to be like us and like Henry with his podcast,
we're like WWE. Then, now, everywhere.
Forever too.
Nah. I just substitute the forever part.
We can do that. Our content is timeless. Spotify has collabed with Anchor, what we formerly use now called Podcasters, to promote and push podcasts. So if you want to start one like we do, it's free and easy. 1, 2, 3 with your email. If you want to go ahead and promote the way we promote and market our stuff on all these different links, you can use StreamYard if you want to do the same thing to have a variety of ways done to have your podcast pushed. You can use Zoom. You can use Zoom as well, or a small monetary fee, and you can handle business the way we do. With StreamYard, you could put a variety of things, whether it's Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, you name it. You can just put that on, apply a link, and you can go live anywhere you want at any time. So if you want to see me, my beautiful face, or you hear Soto's, angelic and enigmatic voice, or the enigma that is Mr. Cruz himself, Mr. Henry, currently out today doing fatherly duties. Labor Day weekend means at some point you ain't gonna see your son every day due to school, so he's doing the most he can to take care of his kids. So shout out to Henry.
I mean, he probably did a sunset flip to his kid.
What's up?
He probably did a sunset flip to his kid.
He probably did. I know he threw his kid across the room into the pool.
Something. They were probably wrestling or something. Hey, Daddy. Oh yeah.
Look what I can do. But until then, that'll do it for us. Soto, what's the game plan? We about to guess. Oh,
the game plan
hold up.
is
Time out.
Monday
By the
Night
way,
Raw.
let's have a conversation real quick. I got a problem with you. I went and checked my stats earlier today. You have one more win than me on Warzone. You have 63 wins on Warzone, my 62. I don't like that.
Well, for the fans out there listening, I'm like that.
Yeah, whatever, bro. So we about to run. I'm out the shower and we on this Xbox rest of the night. We about to get more of these Warzone W's.
Yeah, it's gonna be Call of Duty Monday Night Raw vibes.
What happened?
It's gonna be like Call of Duty and Monday Night Raw vibes.
Sounds like it. We got Uso and Sami Zayn involved, so that'll be great.
Yeah, looks like they're on the way of reuniting.
There you go. I forgot about that too. That's another thing that we got to talk about in previous episodes. But enough of that. Enough of this wrestling for the night. I will talk to you later, Soto. And until next time.